What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this one we're doing another build battle. This is, I want to say, the 6th one, but I honestly can't remember anymore. This one's gonna be, again, different. Not, I would say similar to the last one, but then that would make you think that it is similar to the last one, which it's not. We're gonna be doing kind of a bracket style thing. So there are 6 people involved. I am not building this time. And essentially, we're gonna have the top 2 people get a bye. I'll explain the seating thing. I'll show it to you in a... Actually, I'll show it to you right now. I just threw everybody's name in a wheel, or like a wheel spin thing, and I got the seed. So XD and Lefty are 1 and 2. They get first round buys, so they don't have to build until round 2. Gaming Pro is number 3, and Nathan is number 6. That will be the first matchup that you see. And then Gamga is number 4, and Ender is number 5. That is the second matchup you will see. Winner of Gaming Pro Nathan will face XD. Winner of Gamga Ender will face Lefty. Probably. I might switch it around. That's probably what's going to happen. So, yeah, they get... So, theme 1 is a house, and they have 45 minutes to build it. And I don't really think I have anything else to say, so without further ado, let's introduce the contestants and enjoy the little time lapse. It's time for me to do what I do best, and that's be a little bit critical. So we're going to start with Nathan's build, and we'll go to Gaming Pros, and I'll kind of talk about them, and then probably take a minute to process everything that I just said, and then I'll let you guys know who is moving on to round 2 to face. I'm assuming XD at this point in time, but it might change. Anyway, Nathan's house is fairly small. That is, I think, the one thing you'll notice right off the bat. He did not use a lot of this space, which I don't mind particularly. It's very detailed in the little aspects. Like, you got a lot of grass and flowers and stuff going on in the trees. He went with a very just kind of white and pink color scheme, which I don't mind. However, the tint of the cherry doesn't work very well with the smooth quartz. I've talked about this with sandstone before, I believe. It just doesn't mix very well. They kind of get lost in each other a bit. Small interior. I mean, you could sleep on the couch. You got a TV. No access to the garage, which, let me just confirm, he did, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a ton of space back here, but he could have. I don't think it's horrible, just, the color scheme doesn't work very well, and I do wish that for the time he was given, and the space he was given, he used a little bit more of it, even if it's just, I don't know, extend the yard out a little bit, maybe even add some, like, backyard stuff, or even, like, I was thinking even, like, a little pool, or, like, a lake or something, just something small, I guess pond, not lake, just something small to kind of add. And yeah, I also wish this pillar quartz was like acacia or something. Like acacia wood, I'm saying. The gray one, not the orange one. Just mix up the colors a bit. I don't mind the detailing and stuff, though. It's solid. I'm gonna be honest, from when he started, it's a lot better than the start. I'll just say that. But yeah, moving on to Gaming Pros. Gaming Pros house is a lot larger. I think it's more impressive looking at it from just like a quick glance. He's got some weird things going on with the roofs, which I don't particularly mind. It's got Alpha 1 vibes. Actually, I'm just noticing this roof looks like Alpha 1 a bit, or at least my Alpha 1. One small thing is that he should have blacked out these windows. Not that it particularly matters that much. I get he was running short on time with the size that he chose. Inside is not bad. However, using oak for, at least like in this room, for the floor, walls, ceiling, stairs, pretty much everything, it loses it a little bit. It has no color, which, as much as Nathan's only really had two shades, this is a little more bland, I feel. Garage room is good. The bathroom is decent. It is a little dark, like you can't really see much. I think that's kind of where my biggest problem comes in. I don't mind the blocking off the second floors and the sign and all this stuff. Not really anything like crazy bad, just other than the lack of light and the lack of different colors he used. I liked the start of this with the gray base into the like oak, because I think that works very well, but he certainly could have added a like trim around the roof and just a few more small details, but it's good. It is solid. And now, I'll be back in a second to really process these builds and stare at them for a few minutes before I make the ultimate decision. Oh, for a first matchup, I'm not gonna lie, this one gave me some problems. I've been looking at these builds for a good, like, 5 minutes now, trying to figure this out. I'm gonna have to say, the winner of our first little matchup is Gaming Pro. As good as Nathan's is, there's something about the way Gaming Pros is. The dynamic of it, I think, is just better. It's honestly, this one was very close, though. Nathan had a lot more, I think, little details going for him, but Gaming Pro's house in general it has more to it. It's a little more wild, which isn't always necessarily good, but it's not, like, too crazy to where it's like, what is going on? It's just enough to where you have different elements of the house that create a really good amount of depth. Nathan's doesn't have that as much, because this is so much smaller, obviously. But that's kind of, I think, what made my final decision go towards Gaming Pro, is just that like, depth and the different elements you have that combine very nicely. So yeah, sorry, Nathan, GG's. And, yeah, XD and Gaming Pro for round 2 shall be interesting. But now, next up, we have Gamga and Ender. Due to, personal reasons, Ender did have to step out, so Gamga took up the ultimate task of, versing himself. Just see what I mean. Oh boy, what a tough matchup. So we'll start with the house on the left, which was made by Crazy Gomga. This, he was telling me throughout building this, and I kind of agree, it looks like a cake. The pink and the yellow aren't terrible, I just think I would have rather have used concrete or wool or something. I'm not a huge fan of cherry and bamboo planks as usage as a major block in a build like this. We'll ignore the tree. But it's pretty good. I don't hate it. I have nothing against it, really. I just have the same problem I think I had with Nathan's, with the pink and the white just not working together. The other house, I like this one a lot better, actually. The red is very nice for the walls, and I love the general, like, shades of brown with the red. It looks really good. I really like this one. Now, this one is such a hard matchup. Who wins? Does Gomga win, or does Gomga win? Oh boy, I have to go with Gomga for this one, obviously. The red house is so much better, though, than the other one, in my opinion. But, so yeah, round two. I'm not ready. Hopefully these guys are. So round two will be a town square. Now, I kind of am give or take with this. Basically, if it's like a park or a garden or something like that, it'll fall under the category. They get 40 minutes to make this, and yeah, let's start off with the first matchup. Halfway done, round 2. This one was interesting for sure. So obviously the theme being town square. I didn't like have this kind of thought, right? And I'm not gonna say that, oh, they did it the wrong way or anything, because I did specify that, you know, like a park type thing was fine, but they both went like kind of a similar direction. Actually, did go a little more, I guess, urban than Gaming Pro did. But I'll start with Gaming Pros and just kind of go over everything. In general, it's not bad. I mean, I think it's a little lacking in overall detail, but it's solid. I mean, there's nothing I can really pinpoint and be like, that's not what I want. Or, you know, that's not anything annoying. There was one thing I saw over here. This just not being oak does annoy me. But yeah, it's solid. It has everything. It's kind of a weird mix, though, for a park. Right? Like, you're not going to walk into a park that's fenced off like this and be like, oh, like a fountain, play, or a, sandbox, a swing set, not a swing set, a little slide, and, a pool. It's a strange combo, for sure. It is more parky, I think, than I would like, but it's not horrible. I don't hate it. And I wish he would have continued this phone meal a little more around. But yeah, again, overall, it's not bad. XDs, the big thing I'm going to point out instantly that is negative is these buildings. I like the idea of them, however, I think, I mean, he was running low on time when he made them. They could have a little more to them, I think. They're kind of bland, and I said this to him, actually. It reminds me of the Hello Neighbor background houses. Kind of just, like, bland buildings with conspicuously placed windows in the background. But I think it was definitely a smart move to put them there because he needs them. I love the vibe he's got going here, though. This feels almost a little more like a small town. I guess when I think of Town Square, this still isn't what comes to my mind. But it makes sense more. If you're in a small town, like, you could definitely imagine something like this. A little area to watch a movie. Some little dinner tables, or I guess picnic tables would be more logical. I think these are fountains, but I could be wrong. Or like the little squirt fountain thingies. I don't know what they're called. The fountain, the little bridge. It's got a really nice feeling to it. Also, something that probably a lot of you aren't gonna like, but I like the crazy kind of like different walkways going on. It's more interesting than just perfect squares. Although I think both would be probably a fine way to go. The only thing I said again, this is kind of just a me thing. I would have liked a little less grass, actually. Maybe even take, I don't know, some of these squares inside and turn them into, like, stone bricks or something. Just get a little bit different in there. Maybe add, like, I don't know, a little shop or something. But with the time that he was given, because it was not much, he did very good. Now, these are two very good builds, but I believe I do know who my pick is going to be. So the first person moving into the final round will be XD. XD's build, just, it had more to it, I feel. Gaming Pros, not that it had nothing, but it was a lot less, and it was, I think, a lot more scattered. XD's felt very much, I don't want to say realistic, but it felt very much more organized and very much more just, I don't know, like it all kind of worked together better. It combined to create something great. Still, both two pretty good builds, and yeah, let's see what Gamga and Lefty have to offer. Alrighty, so, whoa, new skin alert. Anyway, it'll probably change again in this video. But, anyway, Gomgo on the left, Lefty on the right. This one is interesting. They both went more town square than Gaming Pro and XD did, which I do like. I do like that. However, I do have some glaring problems, and I'll start with Gomga's. This is a very, I guess, I'd say minor, but it's also kind of not. And it has to do with his diagonal buildings. I like the fact that he went for a diagonal building. It's risky. However, when you're making a diagonal building, you want to make the walls smaller than the straight walls. Because essentially, the spacing of this, you figure, is stretched out from what it would be for this. So I would have just made this a little smaller so it kind of fits better. Because if you look at it from an overhead, you can see how much larger those are. That one being off the grid, I did tell him to either cut it off or move it. He didn't move it, he just cut it off, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that, although it is kind of goofy. My big thing is it lacks. It really lacks. He's got the buildings, yeah, and he's got the fountain, which I really like this fountain. But outside of that, there's not a ton of detail. I mean, there's the mud brick, and there's a couple small things. But I'd like to see more color variation. It's so much red and, like, whatever this color even is. Like, what is this color? But it's a lot of just, like, shades of colors. I would have liked to see some more greenery, maybe, like, some grass around or something. It's just too much red for my brain. But it's solid. It is also very Ellen or Little Nightmares-esque, as Gamga was saying, although it's not... Or he was saying that. I wouldn't say it's really that Little Nightmares-esque. I mean, it has similar kind of style, but it's not quite. Lefties. I like Lefties buildings. They're very nice and... I mean, they could be detailed more. These are really nice. However, obviously they're not finished, which is kind of a big problem. I would have liked for him to have just kind of, I guess, specifically focused on one aspect. And is that a structure block? It is a structure block. I'll probably delete that because it triggers me. But I would have liked him to focus on one thing at a time and not leave things unfinished like this. But I like the style he went for, and it looks nice. Just... It really should be finished. Or at least what he had started should be finished. I wouldn't really mind, like, I don't mind if he left this square open or whatever. Obviously that would suck, but having just like a half of a wall here is weird. But anyway, I'm gonna take a minute and contemplate this one, and we'll see who faces XD in the final. This one was, I think, still challenging for me to decide. However, the winner of the final matchup of round 2, I'm bad at math, is Gamga. Now, Gamga's build, as I mentioned, I do have some problems with it. However, the big turn away from Lefties is just how unfinished it is. Even if this wall was finished, I think maybe he would have a better chance. But just being able to be, like, right here and seeing that gaping wall, it really kind of is what I think breaks the feeling of what we were going for. And the challenge, by the way, was time is part of the challenge. It will get shorter per round. It was 45 in the first, it was 40 in this one, and the last one will be 35. But anyway, yeah, Gamga's is solid for what it is, I think, in general. But again, there's a lot of complaints I think I have. But it is now time for Gamga and XD. as I suspected, the skin did in fact change again. Yeah, final round. XD on the right, Gamga on the left. And again, the prompt was video game builds. I hope that was said. I'll make sure it was in the video somewhere. Gamga made Hollow Knight, and XD made Little Nightmares too, specifically. I'll start with XD's. His is more simple. So his block palette, he went with a little bit more color, which I don't mind. I guess it depends, because obviously Little Nightmares is all sad and gray. I mean, he did go for gray townhouses, but I'm specifically referencing like the brick outline and the brick floor. But yeah, his statues are pretty good. They are a little janky at points, but I like them. They're very recognizable. You can obviously see who they are, and they're solid. They're decent. For only having really 35 minutes to play with it, you know. It is hard when you're under that much pressure. But yeah, his townhouses I think could have been a little more symmetrical. Oh, not symmetrical, but I guess more rhythmical in a pattern with the windows. But again, it's good. It's not terrible for the time he had. And I do like the windows and everything. And the fact that he actually went through the effort to make a background. Because he could have just left the statues and been like, yep, that's it. But yeah, also the holding hands is awesome. I love that. Gamga's, the Hollow Knight build. This actually might be my favorite build out of all of them in this build battle. He's got like the gates and everything. It's recognizable for where you are in the game, you know. You can tell that this is the kind of graveyard area at the bottom of, or at the far right of Dirtmouth. And this would be, I believe, GG's hut. And then this is obviously Crystal Peaks up here. And this is the area where there should be Cornifer just over here somewhere. But yeah, it looks great. I honestly, when he started building it, I wasn't really like feeling anything about it. But it turned out really nice. I don't really have any, honestly, major complaints with it. Because, I mean, it looks like Hollow Knight, you know? It's got the gray and there's not really much color. The only thing, very minor, I probably would have made the crystals magenta. Although it's not wrong the way that he did it, just, you know, that would have been my choice. But yeah, again, very, very good. I really like these both. So, as you can probably tell based on what I just said, we don't need to go any further. The winner of the entire build battle is Crazy Gamga. Congratulations to Gamga, and also congrats to XD for making it this far. Everybody went through 2 rounds, actually, that played, except for Nathan. Sorry, Nathan. But, yeah. Well, thank you everybody for watching this video, and also thank you to everybody who did participate in said build battle. I'm just gonna run through all the builds really quickly again. This was definitely, I think, my favorite build battle we've done so far, even with me not building in it. We definitely do have plans to revisit this concept with a 12-person build battle instead of the 6 that we had, or what ended up turning into 5, unfortunately. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think everybody involved enjoyed it. And GG's as well to, again, everybody involved. The next build battle, also, I'll just drop that into you, will be an amusement park, which is going to be pretty fun. But yeah, how do I keep rambling for this long? I don't know. I'll find a way anyway. But yeah, everybody did really good. I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. And I don't really think I have anything else to say. So yeah, cue the official outro. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this, let me know if you guys have any comments on any of the builds or what you think. And yeah, I will have a fantastic rest of your day or night. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.